everything. This just picks up, for the most part, me. If you guys get loud enough, it'll pick up you as well. But it's even at that, it's going to be a little bit more muffled. If I turn on the webcam one, oh, it's got you all. So, all right, yesterday, a bunch of you guys were doing what again? Yesterday, when you guys came in late? Oh, PSAT stuff, that's right. So, yesterday we started circles. We started circles. If you guys were not aware, you should be aware though. I said it yesterday at the end of class. I'll be posting these videos. I posted it last night on Google Classroom, so you should have been able to fill in your notes and go through it. It's raw. I'm not editing it. This already adds some time to it, right? I mean, you saw a glimpse of it after school where I'm just like typing it in. It's just a lot of uploading. And if I were to go through and actually have to watch the 45 minutes or listen to the 45 minutes that's going through and editing it, no, I'm not doing that. You guys can fast forward and click and do what you need to do. So this is just coming through the way it is. So you should have, hopefully, very few questions. Were there any questions for those of you that were not here? Any questions on what we did yesterday? No? Okay. So we left off doing a couple of problems from the workbook. Let's go ahead and jump to that. So we were doing 2, 3, and 4 in the workbook after we did this example right here. I gave you guys the remainder of class time in order to finish 2, 3, and 4 in the workbook. So let's actually bring them up. Let's take a look and solve them out. You know what I could do is I should get maybe if I got a little portable, one of those cell phone portable chargers. Yeah, then I could keep it charged and be portable. Then I could be portable. An extension cord, well, I already feel a little awkward. I feel like I'm hooked up to some sort of IV machine, you know. Can't go anywhere. All right. So let's see what we remember. Let's see what we remember based on this question. How do we do it? Somebody raise your hand, walk me through it. Elias? I'll let you get the next one, Gabriela. Oh, we did 2 numbers? I thought we didn't do any of these yesterday. Oh. Well, this isn't the example in the notes. It's the example from the workbook. Okay.
So, negative 1, 5, that'd be your x and y?
Ooh, no.
That's your h and k.
H and K. Matter of fact, this is not quite enough room, so I'm going to have to just stick to this side of the board so that way I can stay hooked up. H and K. So then...
And then 23, -2 are your x and y.
Correct.
So then you would do 23 minus 1.
23 minus negative 1.
And then you would do negative 2 minus 5.
Negative 2 minus 5 equals r squared. We just plugged in our hk, x and y into our formula, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Elias, 23 minus negative 1? 24 squared. Okay, and what's 24 squared? Dimitri? 576. 49. No, positive. Negative times a negative does make a positive. You're right the first time. And 576 and 49? Now, we can stop here. We only need r squared. The formula says x minus h, the quantity squared, plus y minus k, the quantity squared, equals r squared. We don't need r. We need r squared. We have r squared. So our final solution for what is the equation that of a circle centered at negative 1, 5 that goes through 23, negative 2 is x minus, actually be plus 1. It's going to be, when I put minus negative 1, it makes that plus 1. X plus 1 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 625. Now, if I were to ask you what is the radius of this circle, because that's a fair question, what is the radius of this circle, what would it be? Somebody show me their hand. Gabriella? It'd be 25. How'd you get that? Square it? You square root it. Square root both sides. Okay, if you square root both sides, you'll get what r is, and r would have been 25. So that's a fair question I could ask. What is the radius of the circle? The radius of the circle is 25. All right, let's do number 3. Okay, yes. No. Gabriella? 2 and 2 are my H and K. Whoop. I come unplugged? No. Ha ha ha. Okay. H and K. Uh-huh.
So that would be -1 minus 2 squared plus 6 minus 2 squared equals R squared.
El genio de matemática. Oh, la genia. Perdón.
Wow.
Perdón.
-3 squared plus 4 squared equals R squared. 9 plus 6 equals.
And there we go. Now we plug it into our formula. X minus 2 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 25. Done. Sione? Huh? I said it though, didn't I? Weird. I'll chalk it up to old. So you asked about tutoring. So it's Wednesday, so the answer is no. There are extenuating circumstances as well. I've had to help ASB today after school. So was there something in particular? No? Oh, okay. Holly? So back on your note page. Okay, that is the standard. That's the formula for a standard formula for a circle. Yeah.
When you're recording this, is it like screen recording?
Yep. You would have known that if you looked on Google Classroom last night and did it. Wow, you guys were quick to say that. You got like an anti-fan club. All right. Okay, let's do the last one. Who are we gonna? Let's pick on one of the Yeah Destiny girls. So, all right, Kaylee, you're up then. We'll do 4. Mm-hmm. 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 Go ahead. You don't have to tell me what H, K, X, and Y are. We've done enough of them. Yeah. -7 minus 3. 11 minus -5. Whoop. Missed parentheses. -10 squared. I know that it's going to be the same thing either way, but it's important to not lose signs. 100. 256. So here's where it's important that we don't need to square root it. If I were to ask what the radius of this one is, it's the square root of 356. And whether or not that reduces, right, it's divisible by 2. After that, I already start being like, is there anything else? That's going to be 128. So it's divisible by 4. Could have got that because it's 56 is. But it's, I don't want to reduce that. So I'm good. R squared is that. So now we just use our formula, which we're just changing that to x and that to y. Right? So it's going to be x minus 3 squared plus y plus 5 squared equals 356. And there's the equation of my circle centered at 3, -5, containing the points -7, 11. Yes?
So for the answer, you have to put in that formula?
Yes.
And that's the first
I believe that the question states, write the equation of each circle. That is the equation of a circle. That's an equation. That's the circle if it's centered at the origin. So therefore, my h and k would be 0, 0. So it would just be x squared and y squared.
So it would be in this format?
Yes. If either of the coordinates is 0, then you don't need the parentheses. Okay? On whichever one's 0. Is those still the same ones from yesterday? The willpower. If I had a can of Pringles, those things are gone in an hour. If I had anything, it's gone in an hour. Like, if I had an entire 7-Up cake sitting in front of me, it's gone in an hour.
How do you remember
Yeah.
that?
It's called memory. I don't know. What do you... you just, yes, what? Fun fact.
Pringles are not actual chips, they're crisps, but they don't have enough potatoes to eat them.
Aw, sad.
No, wait, that's
I saw a comedian doing stand-up the other day. Hand me the Pringles can there, Raymond, because I can't move away from the screen. Yeah. Right. So there was this comedian, and he was doing this stand-up routine, and he goes, "I think Pringles were actually planning on being a tennis ball company, but then they got a shipment of potatoes, and they were like, well, let's just make potato chips instead." You don't get it? Tennis balls come in containers like this. So, so, yeah. Gosh. Okay. So, a few things for those of you who are absent. I'm going to do the 5-minute abridged. Number one, because of the fact that people are struggling in class, I am recording my voice and I'm recording this. Sometime, hopefully by the beginning of next week, I'm going to be putting up a webcam and recording myself as well, because there are a lot of times when I'm modeling with my hands when I'm talking to you guys as a class, and it would help. Or like when I'm pointing at the screen, you guys can't see it, and I'll be like, so over here, and I'm doing this motion, and you guys will just be hearing my voice saying over here, and you'll see the screen not doing anything, right? So it's important to get myself as well on camera. You guys don't need to comment about, man, Mr. Bates, they say it adds 10 pounds, but I'm pretty sure it's squared or something along those lines when you guys watch it and I'm up here, okay? I'm not going to look at it. I don't need to hear my voice. I don't need to know how ridiculous I look when I move around the classroom and teach math. So I just literally finish recording and I just go upload, just blindly. What's up? Well, it's on my YouTube channel. That's how it does, and that's all that's on my YouTube channel are these videos. I don't know, Bethany. I don't recall. I made it years ago.
So I'm gonna look at Scott Bates.
Okay. Or you could just go to Google Classroom and just click on the video link, and it'll take you. You don't have to try to search my video.
Did you upload other videos?
Yeah. My YouTube channel is called Activate Windows. Oh, the other one just finished. So, anyhow, the other things. Number one, PBIS amongst all 5 classes competition. Okay, the class with the highest PBIS point average gets a 5% grade bump at the end of the 5% at the end of, could have helped you. Gets a 5% grade bump at the end of the semester. Some of you guys, that'll be super important. And because of the fact that, like I was telling other students, you know what, I'm tired of the fact that people, say it's just, being nice doesn't matter. It does, and I want to prove that. Best attendance, so best attendance average to get a pizza party at the end of the quarter. And then amongst the Algebra 2, if you guys have the best quiz average, we're going to have a cupcake party between you and period 3. You guys are competing. And if you guys have the best test average, we'll have a taco party. That's between, yes, and you can win, like you guys have the ability to win all 4 if it happens that way. Yeah? Emil moved out of third period, and he's in my pre-calc class now. We got a chance. No, she's talking about the quiz and tests. So, all right. Hey, how about you guys? Those of you that are sitting there trying to count like who you think are like your ringers. How about instead you turn yourself into one? Then it's not even matter, right? That's what you said at the beginning of the year, Michael. I hope that barely caught your voice in the back. I'm the ringer. Okay. All right, next part. Next part. If we have, and now I'm actually wondering because this cut out and I have to be tethered to it, that means possibly during fifth period, like halfway through the period, it just stopped working. And so they're going to get a video that like halfway through the period just stops working. Oh well. Oh well. Anyhow, the next part. So what if they give us an equation and we've got to determine if it's a circle? Can't find it? All right. So how do we know if a given equation is a circle? There are multiple conics. When you have a double squared in an equation, when x is squared and y is squared, we have multiple conics that could be occurring. We could have a circle, or it could be an ellipse, or it could be a hyperbola. All those things happen, right? So you know what a circle is, and an ellipse, it just smushes one side or another. Technically speaking, a circle is a subset of ellipse, just like a square is a subset of a rectangle, right? And then in a hyperbola, what happens is you have that ellipse, but then it's kind of cut down the center and turned the opposite directions, right? We have to know when we're looking at double squared pattern inside of our function, or it's not a function, inside of our equation, whether or not it's a circle. And there are just three criteria, and you just have to remember same, same, same. If your x squared and y squared, don't care about the non-squared versions. If the x squared and y squared have the same coefficient with the same sign, and they are on the same side while those other two things are occurring, then it is a circle. Same sign, same coefficient, while on the same side, then you are looking at a circle. Okay? So that's what that's saying right there. So with that in mind, we can figure out, here, we take a look at this example. We're going to end up graphing this and figuring out what it is. Notice a pattern that I did, and this is not the way it is in your workbook, so you're going to have to get it there with some very minor manipulation. I've got x squared minus 8x plus y squared plus 2y equals 8. We are going to have to complete the square twice, which is why we did complete in the square last section. You guys make faces, at least Holly is, okay? You guys can make faces, but it's really funny after we've done it once when for some reason it's so hard to complete the square and we did a quiz and some of you couldn't get that question. You're just like, I just can't do it. I guarantee you, out of those people that are just like, I just can't do it, we're going to do it again right now. As a matter of fact, we're going to do it twice. And all of a sudden, people are going to be like, oh, I get it now for some reason. I don't know why it works that way. It is inexplicable. Okay? It is completely inexplicable. Well, it's not. I'm sure some neurologist out there knows exactly why it's occurring that way. However, Kaylee, you okay? All right. So we take this, and we're going to complete the square twice. So let me grab this and take it over to my other screen. I hate the fact that I'm having to switch to my left hand on occasion. You know, Bethany, the fact that you're one of them already starts to make my case. So, all right. You know what? I don't like that little apple, that little circle sitting there. I mean, I was thinking Bethany's apple, and I was like, I don't like that apple.
It was good, don't it?
I was actually using it as a metaphor, as like, that's a bad apple. Just.
It's a good apple, though.
It is. It looks like one, anyways. We do a little ASMR really quick.
No. I'm saving myself and my apples.
All right. Okay, guys, we're going to complete the square twice. We have to do it for x squared and y squared. Michael, Seth. Okay? Yeah, sounds like a movie star. Okay? Michael, Seth. I don't even know. Okay? So, guys, we need to complete the square twice. So we get two gaps because of the fact that we're completing the square twice. We're going to have x squared minus 8x plus something, and then we bring in the y squared. Y squared plus 2y plus something equals 8. But what I do to one side? Plus. I'll leave it. I'll pause for a moment. Michael, then you're going to tell me what I'm going to put in those gaps. I'm not doing anything, Seth. I don't know what you want me to wait for. It's going to be 4 squared, Kelsey, yes. Because completing the square, half of 8 is 4.
You said half one.
Half of 2 is?
One.
Okay. So I've now completed the square on both of those, so I can turn them into binomials. Remember, I'm putting it back in the package. I'm putting the tent in the box. So Sione, if it makes sense, can you please put it back in the box for me? What will this box look like? X minus 4. Now, normally I can hear when people are helping around. Did you get that all on your own? Congratulations. I thought so. All right, then, Sione, let's keep going. I want it with more confidence this time. What's the next parentheses? Y plus 1. What's 4 squared? 1 squared? 8 plus 16 plus 1? 25. Okay. I'm going to allow you to digest this, Bethany, but you need to be digested a little faster than you're digesting that apple.
Okay, done.
Okay.
Okay, so you just do that with all of them? You cut that in half?
Yes, that's completing the square. That was the full lesson that I taught 2 days ago. Oh, actually, like a week ago.
I guess I just wasn't paying attention.
That's a possibility.
Okay, so just cut that in half, square it, then you take the second number that's in the equation, and you do the same thing?
It's always what would be considered what I like to call the middle term. So if I had x squared plus something x plus some number, it's whatever's in front of that x all by itself, or whatever's in front of the y all by itself. Okay? Elias. I've got arrows, Elias. What do you want? Because I literally just read the arrows and what I'm moving stuff from. The 8x came with the problem, Elias. Elias, you're going to have to come to tutoring for that question because I had an entire lesson about don't ask me about where did that number go. It's in the box. This box. Seth. Yes. 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 All right. Yeah, get a friend to help you with that, Elias. I've had full lessons on it, so I have answered that question, but because of the fact I've answered that question roughly 2 to 3 times in this class, I don't have time to answer it again. Okay? All right, so where is the center of this circle? Isabella, you've been absent. What's the center of this circle, do you think? What's the coordinate of it? Close. It's in parentheses, so what do we do when things are in parentheses? Take what they said and try to process it. Oh, they said, oh, it's opposite. That was. So, positive 4, negative 1. Okay? Positive 4, negative 1. What's the radius of this circle? That's what r squared is. Michael? Yes. 5. She was a little quicker on the draw. Radius is 5. That's r squared, not just r. Square root it to get what r is. Okay, so now you guys have to do your best to actually graph it. So the center's at 4, negative 1. And the radius is 5. I'm going to take a chance and hope that this continues recording my audio as I detach myself. So what I do when I go to make these circles, guys, I just kind of go 5 out in every direction. And then I just kind of like, from the center of the circle. Okay? And then I just kind of like try my best to connect each quadrant in a circle to the best of my ability. Dotted lines, and that helps me make as even of a circle as I possibly can. Okay. And then, eventually when you work really hard at it, you're just able to, oh man, really put that effort in, and you get, it's still not right. Oh well. What? Well, I know because I did something that like a stupid American would do, and they're just like, stupid American. This one I didn't know where it was exactly because I'm out of lines. So, it's right there. There, I didn't miss it. Okay. I don't even talk about it. That was hand drawn and that was a lot of effort.
So if ours isn't very perfect,
Whatever potato yours looks like, I'll take it.
as long as
Okay.
like the center's right and you
Yeah. Okay. As long as you guys don't go like 5 out, 5 out, 5 out, and then you're like, okay, circle. Okay, no, that's not gonna fly with me. Okay. So. Wow. Wow. Color out much, Holly? Only off. Okay. We good? Ish? Go ahead and take a look at numbers 7 and 8 in your workbook. I'm going to start off number 7 with you. So, really? Guys, really quick. This doesn't look precisely like my example. We need to start extending ourselves and being okay with that. What do I got to do, Sione? No. I need you to step by step me. Nah, this is why we're not doing so well. What do we think I need to do, Dimitri? Right. So correct. We need to group the x's with the x's and the y's with the y's. So this says x squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 4y. And the negative 1's on the left-hand side. That needs to move to the right. We need to group our x's and y's. So I would do a quick rewrite and say x squared plus 4x plus blank plus y squared minus 4y plus blank. I'm not going to have enough room here. Let me move this over. I'll wait in just a second. Is equal to, add 1 to both sides, 1 plus blank plus blank. So I just grouped the x's. I just moved this 4x, so it's next to the x squared. And I moved this negative 4y, so it's next to the y squared. So that way it looks like my example, and it has a nicer flow to it. So now, guys, go ahead and go through the same exact steps and see if you can't get what this circle is going to look like.
Why wasn't the negative 1 the C for the y?
The C.
Well, it's like completing the square.
And on completing the square, what do we do with that C value? We move it to the right.
Yeah, but why is there another blank number stuck?
Because we're adding 2 things to the left side. So that means I'm better add 2 things to the right side.
That one is the no 1?
No. If I gave you, make sure you do not copy what I'm about to copy. I'm just going to make up a random example for a student really quick. So just don't get lost on that. If I were to say x squared plus 6x minus 7 equals 0, and I said complete the square, you'd go x squared minus 6x equals positive 7. Then you'd add 3 squared and add 3 squared. Those are the steps you would have done.
The blanks are for the half.
Yes. Sione? plus 2 squared. Yep. No.
Is this right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then equals 1.
Plus 2 squared plus 2 squared.
Yes.
He's blind. The flaming skull on your back.
Oh, I bet.
This should be plus. Because it's a plus 4x here, so it's going to be plus 2. Equals 9, right? That's a 9? Yeah.
I just need to throw some cash away, man.
I'm on fire with lighting her on fire today. So I'm on fire lighting you on fire today.
What does that mean? I'm
Them-
on fire when I light me on fire.
I said I'm on fire when it comes to lighting you on fire. So it's just been burn after burn after burn. You know what? Let me use my language. You can use your language, okay?
Burn is universal.
I don't think you're using the word universal correctly.
How do you get these two spots right here? When you did the example, how do you
Because whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other. So I added 4 squared and 1 squared, so I have to add 4 squared and 1 squared.
so for here it'd be
What went here? What went here? Mia? 2 squared.
that part right there.
You pointed. You're not using language because you're not sure of yourself. I said what goes there, and you sheepishly pointed and looked up at me, and I'm not going to give you anything if that's what you're doing. You got to look at me in the eye and say, Mr. Bates, 2 squared goes there.
And then, so negative 2 squared. Negative 2 squared goes here.
2 squared, because it's going to be positive at the end no matter what.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good job. How we doing, Zelini? Why does he look different? He always had a clean cut.
No, but it's like bugs now.
Buzz?
Yeah. It's a little right there.
It looks like Derek. I was expecting something different.
No, it looks different. Plus if it's going by 2. Well, now it's gone.
Oh.
Here, wait. I found it. There's one like that.
A little bit. He looks grumpier. Try number 8.
For the 2 squared, you added to 1 plus 2.
Yeah. Use your hands, Raymond. Okay. Half of 4. Alfaro, why don't you help me out? Fill in my gaps.
I got you.
Okay. 2 squared. 2 squared. 2 squared. 2 squared. Okay. Dimitri, what does that turn into? No. X. Plus. No. 2. Y. Minus. 2. Nine. Okay. Schnicker. Center. Radius. And these darn graphs that they give us in the workbook love to count by 2s. It's super annoying. There's my best circle for now. Oh, shoot. You didn't notice it counted by 2s. Okay.
How is it negative 2? Because you opposite. Yes.
I don't know where to go from there then. That doesn't, yelling at her doesn't make it better.
I know, she always yells at me. It's opposite. What's the opposite? But where do you get the negative from?
You take whatever the sign is in front. Yeah.
So your standard form for this problem would be that.
Yes. It's right here. All right. You guys, if you haven't already, tackle number 8. I'm only going to be able to give you like maybe 2 minutes. See how far you get before I start doing it. That is a lemon. Put a little face on it. It could be a lemon head. I'm going to have to be careful in class now whenever I give you guys actual time limits, because then you could just watch the video and like see if you... Mr. Bates, you only gave us 1 minute and 48 seconds, and you said you were going to give us 2 minutes. Don't be jealous. I've got my bored Europeans over here. Wait a minute. If you guys all decide, you know what? At the end of this year, when the foreign exchange students have to go home, is that going to be Brexit? Just wondering. No. You're leaving in December? Oh, Merry Christmas. I mean, oh.
Wait, are you leaving soon, December? No?
Why are all these negative?
January 3rd? What's wrong with you?
What's, like, they can control this. Is it because you want to? Because you're like, America sucks? That was a very delayed no. Mm-hmm. And now online, they can't even hear your no. So when you only hear my side of the conversation, they're just gonna believe whatever I say. What was that, Alicia? You hate us? Oh my gosh, you're so terrible. Why are you so mean to us? We've got nothing but nice to you. Go ahead, Ollie. What's up?
The square root, unless I did anyone
You did something wrong.
Oh man.
What are you, swiper?
Oh, I get it. So what do we do if it's a number that can't be?
I would say that you should double check your math.
Cameron, I made you the 60.
I think so. Super tiny potato. All right, I think I've given you more than 2. Oh, you did something wrong too. Bunch of people, and it wouldn't reduce to 3 square root 2 even if that was right. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go a little bit more full speed. Well, not really. I'll go quarter speed, guys, because we got to get through this so we can get the last example in. Because a lot of your homework problems look like that last example. Okay. All right, so I just grouped them, and I put my plus blanks, and I moved that 1 to the other side, which makes it a negative 1. This is 1 squared. This is 2 squared. This is 1 squared, 2 squared. X plus 1 squared. Y plus 2 squared. I told you I'm not waiting. I apologize. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0, folks, so that makes a 4. Okay? So the center is negative 1, negative 2, and the radius is 2. I'm sorry you've gone blind, Elias. Okay. So negative 1, negative 2. Once again, this counts by 2s. Super annoying. There's the center. And the radius is 2. Okay. There's our circle. Be a Power Ranger?
I was a Power Ranger for Halloween
Were you really? Oh, that's right.
2 years ago.
Yeah. And for senior.
Oh yeah, Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan, yep, made her wear my Power Ranger costume.
Yeah. Okay. maybe 30 seconds if you didn't get it right to fix it. Any questions? Do we all see where we added wrong when people who got things like weird numbers? What'd you get even?
Okay. I got 7. And the reason why is because I looked at number 7, which had 4x. So I put in 4x instead of 2x. So
I've seen that a lot in my years, where people are looking at a previous example to try to do it really well, and then they just start copying the previous example into their problem. Happens more than you think. Okay. The last question, folks. Look. What? There are too many, not there is too many. Precision of language. Okay, guys. Yeah, I know how much time we've got. We've got 3. So, a rock concert is located at -1, 1. That's point F. Are we okay with that? It is a concert, and its sounds can be heard up to 4 miles away. 4 is therefore the what? The radius. And that's the center. Guys, make your lives, now you don't have a tool like I have, but even at that, even at using this, quiet down, folks. We don't have a lot of time. So even though you guys don't have the exact same tool I have, I've got this right here. I can still be off. Like, this is not exactly necessarily a radius of 4, so I could be a little off. Don't make your life so hard. We heard there are too many of them. Okay? So only do the ones that you know that are questionable. Right? A cannot hear the music. C cannot hear the music. B cannot hear the music. We know E for sure can. The only 2 that are in question are, is my circle, is D really on the line? Is G really? I mean, that's close. So you only need to check 2 points. You need to check D and G. E can hear the music. It's saying find the locations that are affected. E are D and G. Here's how we do this. Okay, you're only going to get the verbal. You can go back to the video if you need to. D and G are X and Y coordinates, correct? That's the HK. So if you plug in X, Y, H, and K, if you get a number less than 4, they're within the radius. There you go. Homework 1 through 21. You heard me. No.
Actually, I don't have time for a nap.
No, you don't, because you're going to be doing math.